Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. You know what we're doing. You know exactly what we're doing. We're drawing every country in the world's flag. Every single one. So even all these African ones, we gotta do them. We're gonna do Ghana today, alright? So Ghana is on the west coast of Africa. One of the older civilizations in Africa. Very rich in natural resources. And there's actually kind of a lot of political stability there relative to kind of other regions or other countries in that region, and we'll get to all of that. It's another one of them Pan-African flags, so you probably already know what we're going to be doing here as far as our color scheme. James, yeah, what do you want? What's happening in Ghana? Well, it all started around the 12th century when there was a gold trade boom in the Bono state, which is southern Ghana today. So gold, you know what that means? That means those Europeans can't be too far behind. So it became the Akan people, kind of took advantage of that to create a lot of power and wealth. In the 15th century, Europeans come knocking on the door. It's the Portuguese. Come on in, guys. The water's fine. So they show up. And then other European powers kind of arrive shortly after that, all competing for, the right to trade in that area. And so you got like the Dagbon Kingdom in the north, the Ashantis in the south. The Ashantis formed a fairly effective state. It was one of the more organized kind of kingdoms in Africa, in Western Africa at that time in the world. And then you thought the Portuguese were bad. Well, the final boss of colonization shows up, the British. So the British show up around the 18th century, 19th century, and the Ashanti, they fight them off. Why would they do that? But it's unsuccessful. Big surprise. So Britain forms a colony, and they don't call it Ghana, they call it the Gold Coast. Right? Very original, because there's a lot of gold there, and everybody likes gold. So you got an Ivory Coast, and you got a Gold Coast. Busy. A lot of trading, right? A lot of commerce. Becomes a hot spot for maritime trade. Let's just finish this little bar up here. And then, the British administer the region for quite a while, and then they're kind of restacking the decks, rearranging the cards a little bit. The Gold Coast and the Togoland Trust Territory, parts of that become modern Ghana, basically in 1957, and it's the first sub-Saharan African country in Africa to gain independence, with Kwame Nkrumah as its first leader. Probably because Ghana already demonstrated with the Ashantis there that they could administer a state, right? So it wasn't really, just like a loose collection of tribes and whatnot in the area. They did have, a history of administration for that region. So welcome to the free world, Ghana. And how you been since? Well, they had a series of coups. I know, I said it was a stable African country, but you gotta have coups, right? You can't join the African community unless you've at least had 2 coups, right? The more the better. So Ghana's had a handful. And then this guy, Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, takes control in 1981 and bans all political parties. Now, that doesn't sound like a Ghana name, right? Jerry Rawlings? That sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like a trying to think here, like a sports team franchise owner or something. Like, I liked the Mets used to be good until that Rawlings took over. So that's what I think of when I hear Jerry Rawlings, and I'm gonna have to look this guy up after. I'm curious what he looks like. So Jerry Rawlings just can't stop ruining stuff and banning political parties, and then he wins a few more presidential elections because, of course, there's no political parties. Of course, you're going to win them. And then he was prevented from running from a third term in 2000. Right, so he was there for a while. And then an opposition party kind of finally arises, the New Patriotic Party, NPP. So they kind of start running things early 2000s. And they've had mostly free and fair elections pretty much ever since. Ghana is kind of like one of the policemen of the area, right? So we know I've done quite a few West African videos, so you know what happens, right? There's a lot of civil wars, a lot of strife in a lot of these countries, and this actually just kind of came to me just now, but I also have mentioned before that the countries that had British influence, they kind of tend to be better off than the French ones. And I think Ghana is kind of proof of that, right? So it is a functioning state in West Africa, cleaning up after its neighbors, right? After all those nasty civil wars, they gotta pick up all the toys that are left in the yard, put them back in the box, and that's Ghana. So we'll get to the flag in a minute. You already know what this means, right? Alright, so yep, Pan-African colors. And then as I'm doing that, let me just start finishing off the flag. So we got, red, yellow, green, with a 5-pointed black star in the center. So the red, I'll let you guys finish it. What do you think the red means? You tell me. You've been watching my video, or my channel, my videos for any length of time. You know the blood, or the red. I gave it away. The red means the blood. And actually, need a little bit more blood in there. Can you get blood from a stone? There we go. Fill in that space. The bloodshed for independence, the heavy metal, the rock and roll. The yellow represents the country's mineral wealth, right? So many minerals, so much gold. The green stands for the forest and the natural wealth. So you got mineral wealth and natural wealth, just a basket of wealth here in Ghana. And the black star, that's the lodestar for African freedom. All right, so that is Ghana. All right, so let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.